Yeah, I thought we talked about it. You weren't there anymore?
Was I there?
I don't know what you're talking about.
She told me afterwards.
Yeah, because I was making sure, because they think it was the HMP guys.
Oh no, they were.
Really? They were complaining about that shit?
Well, they weren't, I don't think they were complaining. I think they were just, like, well, these girls are crazy.
Do you know what his title is?
Yeah.
I do not. I think it's SSA, but I'm not sure.
Oh, because it's not like joking or
Yeah, we were joking around the whole time.
Come 9 o'clock. We warned you.
You have any issues with this, right?
No, I would have lost my mind if,
you have to stay quiet.
well, if it was many people.
When you all are ready, I'll give you the passcode for that flash
Yeah,
drive.
I was in there with y'all.
I wish I could just write it on there.
Galveston PD is.
Oh, they almost all did already.
Okay,
Well,
great.
we had that. Yeah, yeah. So they, on Friday and Monday, I checked in, and they were saying that, yeah, they already gave a bunch of, like, almost everyone, except for the tank.
I think we're just waiting on one media outlet.
Yeah.
So
The
we'll be
one
able
guy
to
that
start.
drove in from Colorado, trying to go on and get.
Oh, no, we did, he did.
I know.
Oh, so you need to go right?
So
Is
it's
there a
one
pen
of
over there?
us.
Well, that's the thing.
I have a pen.
I have a pen.
Oh, they used to
Yeah, I saw.
Oh, yeah, sure.
they,
Make sure there's nothing like secret top secret.
straight up say it, he did say it. There's really no fight we had, the dude drove in.
And you could all email me as well if you have any issues with the flash drive, because I think Macs react differently than PCs, I've been told. So, but this is very top secret passcode. So, are you ready? One password. And it's capital P with an exclamation point. That's all there is to it. But feel free to let me know if you have any issues with anything. I can always send it. It's just some of the documents are kind of big, so they're hard to email. So I like for you to have it all handy for you ready for here today.
Say that one more time.
One password exclamation point, capital P.
We have a chance.
I know we're waiting on one more, but just since you're all here, I'll just go ahead and go through a couple things. As some of you heard when I was talking earlier, this is going to get pushed out. This announcement is going to get pushed out on the national level with other quotes from leaders up in Washington, D.C. So you might see that as well. On the flash drive is basically everything you need to hopefully compile a story in addition to what you're hearing today. There's a copy of the press release that'll be on that flash drive. You also have a copy of the massive indictment that is in there. We also have a participants list, so they're not going to be saying their names and all that when we start. Everything will be on that paper for you so you can have their actual names, titles, and spelling. We do have a significant number of defendants, so we created thanks to this PAO assistant back there for putting together the defendant list. It's basically every defendant that's charged, their status as of today, whether they're in custody, whether they have a detention hearing, their age, city of residence, so you have all that. There are some fugitives that are listed. Those are there as well. As you see, there are pictures of the fugitives being flashed on your screen, so that's also on your flash drive. And then I think it that's on it. We will issue this at the conclusion of the press conference. I like to reward you all for being here, so I don't give anybody anything until we're done here. So that's when it actually will officially go out, but you have a copy of everything there. We'll start by United States Attorney Alamdar Hamdani. He will open the press conference, make a few remarks, then he will return it over to the DEA, Special Agent in Charge, Daniel Como. I always say it wrong every time. And then U.S. Marshal T. Michael O'Connor is here today as well. He'll make some statements. And Houston Police Chief Troy Finner will make a few brief remarks. You'll also have two other people standing up here, and that's Doug Valley. He's the Galveston Police Department Chief, and Noah Rangel. He is the Assistant Special Agent in Charge of ATF. Please try to silence your phones. That's a given, but I always like to remind everybody. I know that there are some pending media inquiries from some of you that I've been working on some side topics. I just ask that you use the time here to ask questions that are on topic. If you have anything else or a matter that's not addressed with this press conference today, just get with me afterwards. We'll handle any of those questions. I think that's about it. Does anybody have any questions for me?
Those pictures are in the flash drive.
Yes, everything that you see is on the flash drive in digital format. Over there is Christina Hill. She is the backup public affairs officer, so she can help you with anything as well. Her, Serenity, and myself will all kind of be around. And I said, afterwards, this will go out nationally. I think that's about it. Did I forget anything, ladies? No? Good. All right, I think, did Univision arrive yet? I think we're just waiting for one here.
She brought them, but
You,
I don't know if she went to the ladies' room.
Okay, as soon as she's set up, we'll have everybody come down and we'll begin. Okay? We do have a camera up front. That doesn't bother anybody, correct? Okay. So we're waiting on the last minute. You can tell her to go ahead and send them down. And I'll meet them, all right?
That's not.
Sydney's waiting on them for the open mic.
I just want to make sure.
I'm gonna get them out.
Do anything about it. Because all it takes is obviously.
Sorry to see you.
No, that's my whole thing.
No, I was.
Flash drive. Same password before.
Okay.
We can touch base afterwards. So if you don't have yours finished, we can today.
I'm gonna take it.
Okay.
There's already. Marshal service.
all of it.
Yeah, she said. She said I'm with all the important people. I said, of course I am. I said, of course you are. I was trying to make it. The ATM. What exactly did you do? How did you focus? Mr. Martinez.
Technology old, you old for talking. You said.
Back in 50?
Used to have the big.
Asher Street was still there.
Used to watch that. TV. Did y'all hear that?
I heard it first, and then now I heard that he's not. I heard he was getting it.
James wants me to sit in the front and ask questions. I have questions ready.
That's what I heard like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, like a couple of days ago, someone was telling me like, no, it's something more than somebody in trouble with that. That was some kind of new scandal.
Never thought it would be.
Yeah, facts. No one could be consolation.
Oh, bro, you better shut your mouth.
Would you like a
Is that a hint?
No, it's energy gum.
That's a nice way of saying it.
Yes.
And I'm really not chewing
Yep.
gum, so
Used to be. Are you sure you like to see it? That's the second time.
that's my stuff, though.
Sure.
Screw you.
You can always email me later. I know, sometimes I forget and I put 2 exclamation points because I get that on my phone. Poses. Okay, all right.
have a seat if you want to. I gotta take pictures.
Guys, you're not that ugly. Oh, hold on.
I mean, I'll take it.
Yeah, it looks like nobody came. Let me give you a call back.
From the barrios of Jalisco and Michoacan, Mexico, the Jalisco New Generation Cartel casts a dark shadow that extends far beyond the borders of a single nation and into the streets and communities of places like Houston and beyond. The CJNG is one of the most powerful and dangerous criminal organizations in Mexico, characterized by a business model of extreme violence and trafficking in the most deadly of substances: cocaine, heroin, meth, and fentanyl. My name is Alumdar Hamdani, and I am the United States Attorney for the Southern District of Texas, and I'm here to announce the DOJ's next efforts to disrupt the CJNG's activities. A 50-count indictment charging 41 people of drug trafficking in cocaine, heroin, meth, and fentanyl, as well as money laundering. Those charged are alleged to have sourced the drugs from Mexico, smuggled the drugs from Mexico across the border into the Southern District of Texas, into Houston, and into places like Atlanta, Pensacola, New Orleans, Nashville, and Chicago. The charges allege that all 41 defendants operated under the overall control of the CJNG. Of the 41 defendants, DEA, United States Marshal Service, and other law enforcement partners have taken 20 defendants into custody over the course of the last week. 3 were already in custody, 2 have passed away, and 16 remain at large, including Roque Zamundo Mendoza of Michoacan, the main source of supply of the drug trafficking alleged in the indictment. There are fugitives in Mexico, in Houston, and as far as Laos. The arrests are a culmination of a 63-month OCDEF, Organized Crime Drug Enforcement Task Force investigation that spanned from early 2019 to the present. All charged, face life in federal prison, as well as other penalties for other kinds of counts. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the drugs. The drugs that have been seized are 219 kilograms of cocaine, 34 kilograms of heroin, 550 kilos of meth, and 22,600 pills laced with fentanyl. Have you ever heard the term, one pill can kill, when it comes to fentanyl? 22,600 deadly pills. In 2021, over 107,000 Americans died from drug overdoses, with 66% of those deaths related to synthetic opioids like fentanyl. The cartel's ruthless pursuit of profit has come at the cost of countless young lives, leaving families and communities across the country devastated. the fight against the CJNG's deadly fentanyl trade remains an ongoing battle. And I can tell you that battle requires every one of the people up here, ATF, HPD, DEA, United States Marshal Service, and the Galveston PD. It takes an all-of-government approach to stem the tide of the CJNG. With that, I'm going to turn it over to my good friend, Danny Como with the DEA.
This is a very significant case for the city of Houston. We work together as a team, as one here, from the city, federal, state, and the U.S. Attorney's Office to dominate this drug cartel. And we have made a difference. Not only have we made a difference, we saved lives. By these individuals being arrested, the drugs being taken off the street, we have saved lives. I want the citizens to understand we're doing our part as a team, as one, to make the citizens of Houston safe.
Howdy, I'm T. Michael O'Connor. I'm the U.S. Marshal of the Southern District of Texas. You've probably heard this saying, justice is coming. Well, I can assure you justice is here. And here's a prime example of a collaboration of multi-agencies from local, state, and federal. The Marshal Service is well known for pursuing of fugitives. I consider them predators to our society as a whole. And they are so good at doing this. You see the successes that we have across the nation in one of the collaborations that I have been a part of that has been in sync from the day one, and it now shows the results. I can only assure you that we will continue to collaborate with the agencies here and make a difference in keeping our communities safe and assisting the law enforcement, local law enforcement as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and I just want to say good afternoon to everyone. Just like everyone else, extremely proud of our partnership, state, local, federal, all of our partners, and the U.S. Attorney's Office, the Southern District. The City of Houston has got more support to me than anybody in the nation, and I just want to thank you. This is a over 5-year investigation. A lot of work goes on behind the scenes, and I just want to thank everyone. But I want to spell special thanks to those task force officers, the men and women that are on the front line that are really doing the dangerous work. I want to commend them for what they do, but a quick message to any cartel, any organized criminal activity. We stand strong here, and I'm very proud of it, and we'll continue to stand strong. There's some outstanding defendants out there. We're going to get them as well. And this is a message to everyone in this city, in this region. The partnership that we have is second to none, and we're strong and we're moving forward. And I just want to thank you for your support and everybody else that's standing with me today. And we'll continue to move forward in this region to put bad people in jail and make our city, our region safer. So thanks for what everybody's done in this operation, in this big investigation. So thank you.
Thank you, Chief. We're happy to take some questions as it relates to this operation, operation known as Operation Rainmaker. Any questions? Yes.
Do we know the immigration status of any of these fugitives that have been captured?
So the fugitives who have not been captured, yes, we do know the immigration status. Each one is different. Some of them are citizens, some of them are citizens of Mexico. But yeah, that'll be part of kind of the package we put together when we when we go out and we try to apprehend fugitives.
Other than drugs, do we know if they're involved in any immigrant smuggling at the border?
So this indictment is about drug smuggling and as well as money laundering, and that's what I want to focus on. We will, of course, our investigations always continue, and we look at all different aspects of every crime that's out there.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Any reason to believe that any of the fugitives are in Southeast Texas right now?
Some of them are from Houston, yeah, absolutely. And at this point, we're actively looking for these fugitives, which is why I've got them up here. But if you look at the actual slides, you'll see in there some of them are actually in Houston or Mexico. One of the things about the CJNG you'll see in this, because you've got the CJNG is they all work for the CJNG. They're all under the control of the CJNG. You'll see some folks going back and forth to Mexico and into Houston.
Do you have more information on how exactly they were trafficking these drugs, what their operation looked like?
Right now, what I can tell you is what's in the indictment, which is they smuggle the drugs across the border into the Southern District of Texas. And they go to Houston, that would be a hub, and then they send it to other places around the country, of course, using a variety of individuals, many of them have been arrested.
What else can we learn about this cartel, specifically about their operations and the fact that they're here in Houston and operating here in the States?
That's a great question. What it tells you right now is the CJNG is not just confined to Michoacán or to Jalisco. Right? It's in Houston. Its folks are in Houston. Its folks are in other parts of the country. And that is the big message we want to send, is that the Jalisco New Generation Cartel isn't just some far-off entity. They're in the streets of Houston. They're in our communities. And these folks were all under the control of that cartel. I'll let you say that. Yes.
The people taken into custody, I mean, is there any indication, were they in one cell, one group, or are these multiple groups that are under the control of this cartel?
That's a great question. So, first of all, they're all under the control of the cartel. The very first individual, individual number one, and I'll tell you his name real quick before I forget. Zamudio Mendoza. He is the main source of supply when it comes to these drugs coming across the border into the Southern District of Texas. But all of them were under the control of the CJNG.
But to the question of, was this one, we have 41 people here who were charged, 23 taken into custody. Were they all in one group working together? Are these different factions under the control of the cartel?
Count one of the indictment is a conspiracy that involves all of them, all 41.
Are you guys adding El Mencho in this indictment?
Say it again?
Are you guys adding El Mencho in this indictment?
Our investigation always continues. And so I can't talk about what we've got and what that investigation looks like. But I can tell you, we are vigilant and we are constantly looking at additional charges or additional targets.
Why announce today?
Huh?
Why announce today? It's been 5 years, you're still working this?
Right. So, first of all, I think it is incredibly important to educate the community here in Houston and elsewhere of the CJNG and the cartel itself and what it does. But secondly, the indictment was just recently unsealed last week. And last week is when we started arresting individuals. And so last week, I think is when we arrested about 20 individuals. We thought now is a good time to sit down and talk. Of course, what we can't do is talk about a case while it's still under seal. Once it got unsealed, we made the movement to stop talking about it and to educate the community.
When were they arrested?
When were they arrested? Last week, over the coming days. So they've been coming in waves. Some of them turned themselves in. Some of them we've captured, and they've had hearings throughout the last week. Main prosecutor on the case has been busy dealing with detention hearings for the past week and a half.
Where?
Oh, where? Oh, here, Houston. I think I'll tell you exactly. I believe we had some come from Denver, from Colorado, but most of them have been here in Houston and along the border where we've captured most of them.
You mentioned that 2 of these defendants have passed away, I guess, since they were charged. Do you have any other details on that?
No other details. All right. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate your time. Thank you.